Hi book friends, this is Kat and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is my November wrap-up. So in November, I have read a total of 7 books, and I had 1 DNF, 1 3-star, 3 4-stars, and 2 5-stars. So pretty much a really good reading month. So I have my reading journal here, and I'm gonna go through these books for you. So let's start off with the not so fun one, and that is the DNF. And DNF is did not finish, and that was The Bridge by Karen Kingsbury. So this one is about a small town, and you follow 2 or maybe 3, yes, 3 different perspectives. You have this young woman's perspective, and you get the sense that she's from a very well-to-do family, and she basically doesn't want the life that's kind of been planned for her. Her father wants her to marry this guy who he wants to take over the company one day, and so it's kind of like an arranged marriage, but the dad's really like forceful person, and what he says goes, essentially. So you follow this woman who doesn't want that, and then you follow the perspective of this young man who comes from a small town. He has a girlfriend there, and they have expectations like the small town does, where he would go off to college, come back, and essentially be a music teacher. Their girlfriend's dad basically has land, and it's kind of understood he would marry this girl and they would build on this land. And then the third perspective, you have this older couple who take care of the bridge, which is a bookstore, and you get this feeling that this bookstore is going to go under, especially since there was a flood that has happened, and basically they don't know if they're going to keep the store or not, and they go through the memories of good times with the store. So kind of like a gist of like a lot of these different perspectives. And I did do a vlog on this book. I did not care much for the romance that was happening within the book, and for me it felt like this romance had this cheating trope with it, and it does get addressed later on in the book, but that's something that I don't like to read in my books. And so that was one of the big reasons there. I also didn't like the miscommunication that was happening within the book, especially with the dad like strong-arming the young man, breaking things, friendships off with the daughter, and it was just not a book I was enjoying. So more thoughts in that vlog. Okay, number 3 was also, my 3-star read was also in that vlog, and so that is Gather and Give, which is basically a nonfiction about hospitality. And main takeaway from this was I did enjoy it, but I felt like this was a very, very like beginner guide to hospitality. And I have read other books, and I have hosted quite a lot and had like my own, my own thoughts about how to host. If you are a beginner and you're a little afraid about even starting to hosting things or like gathering people into your home, I really do think this is a good resource. The next one category is my 4-star reads, and for my first 4-star is Heartwood by Nicole Deese. This was on my 2025 reading goal list, and it's just a short little novella. It's actually book 4. I didn't read the first 3 books, and I don't feel like you really needed to, but I felt like this was fine, just a standalone. I didn't feel confused anywhere within the book. but essentially you have like another small town, and this small town follows a young woman who works at this inn, and there is this inn is very well known for the kissing tree. That is a tree where couples would go underneath it and like propose, and you can carve your name in it, and it's just got some history and some tradition there. And the young lady, is the gardener for the grounds. There is this push to wanting to get rid of the tree. This tree might have like a little disease on it that may not be treatable, but then you meet this young man who actually has history with this woman, and he is an arborist, and so he actually is the one who gets commissioned to come and take a look at the tree. And then it's like their history is unfolding throughout this story. And like I said, it was short, it was sweet. I really enjoyed it. I am not a contemporary romance reader. I find that sometimes it can be very cheesy or cliche, or a lot of things that I feel like kind of seep into, I guess, the Christian fiction genre that I feel like shouldn't be normalized. But I have found that I've really enjoyed Nicole Deese's writing and storytelling, and she is an author that I do enjoy reading from. So I did enjoy this one. Oh, and the Christian fiction rating on this, I would say, would be a 2.5, which means that the themes are there. It explores like grief in this book as well. And there's also a warning for if you are in like wanting to know some trigger warnings. There is mention of cancer in this book. There is a character who goes through that. So I'm just letting you know. All right. My next 3-star or 4-star read is this short devotions book, and that is Cornerstone of Love by Mary Trombley. And this one, I know the author, she actually goes to my church, but it's just little devotions each day. I've tabbed a few, and a lot of them really spoke to me, and I just thought that this was a really good devotion. They're very short. My last 4-star read is a nonfiction, and that is It Takes a Church to Raise a Parent. Okay, I'm going to do a voiceover because I didn't explain this very well the first time, but essentially this book encourages us as the church to come alongside parents and helping them with the discipling and the spiritual needs of their children. So the parents are the ones responsible for the raising and discipling of their children, but we as a church, we are a community that should come and help solidify the teachings the parents give at home. So the church also encourages not only the parents, but they also walk alongside with them. And so I love how this book includes that you can help parents even if you aren't a parent, or you aren't in leadership, or you're the godparent or a children's church helper, whoever. As long as you're a part of the church, you have like a role to play. And so this book encourages community and just being an active role to bridge the multi generations within your church. I just found it very like good and insightful and reflecting a lot. And if a book does that, if it causes me to, reflect and even make some changes in my life, I really do recommend this book to others because I know it could bless others. So really loved this book. All right, my 5-star reads. Okay, so the first one I have to mention, and this was part of that vlog for the Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf Challenge vlog, and that is The All-American by Susie Finkbeiner. Finkbeiner, I think is how you say the name. And this was so fun. I loved reading the perspective of 2 sisters. You follow this family, and this family is going through the time in the United States where the Red Scare is happening, and people are accusing neighbors of, being linked with communism or part of the Communist Party. And so you really follow these two sisters. One is in high school named Bertha, and she loves baseball, and she gets an opportunity to try out for the All-American League, Girls League. And basically when her father gets accused of communism, how that affected her. And then you follow the youngest one, which is the youngest sister, which her name is Flossie, and she is a middle schooler, and how it affected her. And this story I thought was very well written, and I would highly recommend this story. So don't be afraid if you don't like sports. This one wasn't confusing at all for me. I am not really a big sports reader, but this one I really enjoyed. And so it's really about the family, and I guess less about like the baseball. So, all right, so the last 5-star read, I had read Caleb's Story by Patricia McLaughlin, and this is the 3rd book in the Sarah Plain and Tall series. Very sweet series. They're short books. This one was a little more intense, I feel like, than the other 2 books, where it addressed like forgiveness and anger and forgiveness. And you know, you follow Caleb, which is the boy in this family, and his perspective, because he's now writing these journal entries. And there was just emotional moments, and I love seeing the family, you know, growing up on the prairie. This is set in the winter time, so if you're looking for a winter book, this one is set in that. And yeah, I just thought that this was a very emotional, great read, and I am enjoying the series. Okay, so I went through that pretty quick, but this video does need to go up today. Have you read any of these books? Are there any books that you think I would like based off of the ratings that I gave certain books? Let me know in the comments. I hope you guys are having a great rest of your day, and I will see you in another video real soon. Bye, guys.